Ready, Jake?
Yeah.
It was a typical cold and rainy Alaskan day. Walking down the causeway to the place that they call Island of the Crow. And there would soon be wedding bells, and I would be ringing them as hard as I can. I peered in from the open door, and to my surprise, not a single deer antler or feather in the place. Nor was there so many people that I couldn't find a seat. It wasn't a pushing and shoving race like I had expected. I was kicking myself for being there 3 hours earlier than the event began. But Jake was there. I was there too. Standing inanimately in the corner, with our hands in our pockets, shifting side to side and making idle talk. And lady, I believe she was a relative of the bride. No, it was the groom. Oh, it doesn't really matter. She handed us some programs and said, make yourselves useful, boys.
Her name was Drea.
I only got one and Jake got 200, so I said, enjoy yourself, Jake. I'm just gonna stand back in the corner here idly and inanimately with my hands in my pockets, and you hand out these programs to people that you know who I do not. There was a fairly petite gentleman in baggy pants and flannel who was nervously milling about the place, rattling on about how the temperature was not precise and all the windows should be open, and don't leave the door open because the birds will fly in, and don't pull the bell ropes too hard. I said, okay, Sam, I'll help you open the windows if you like, and I think everything's going quite well, and Father Thomas knows exactly what to do on the altar there, so I'm not really going to worry too much about that. I'm just going to stand inanimately and idly in the corner with my pockets filled with my hands. And then the time came when and the time came for the bridal party to arrive, and then I said to myself, ah, the feathers, I see them now, there they are. But don't the groomsmen look so sporty and fashionable? And Jake said they do.
It was true.
It was true. It was true. Yes, they do. What happened next? Oh, the mass began and the music played by all of our so very talented friends in the balcony we could not see. They were in the balcony. Father Thomas reminded us all that we had been invited there make an amazing little chapel as the place where Jake and Cailey got married, and where we had our tea nights, our retreats, and where we heard testimonies and heard hearts spilled out. And I remember the night Cailey cried. Someone was missing from that special day, and I thought of him just like I know everybody was, and no one showed it 'cause they were all excited and happy for the bride and the groom, who marched down the aisle at the end to the sound of the wedding bells being rung by one happy and excited little me. Until Lindy came in and told me, I think you rung them enough, why are you still ringing those bells? I said, well, because when will I ever have the chance to say that I rang wedding bells? And she said smartly and quickly, quite to my surprise, I think you can already say that, Justin. And ever since that day, I've been trying to find this time and inspiration to write a song to capture just how I felt during that day. This is not how I imagined it sounding or going. This is not the time or the moment, and this song doesn't really capture any of the ideas I had, the inspiring thoughts that I was going to put into that song. But this is still pretty fun. Take it away, Jake.
It's solo time.
One more measure. And you want to eat?
Isn't this what we talked about doing when you came home
That's
from
beautiful.
college, and
I
now we're doing it like right before you leave?
Yeah.